In this video, I'm going to explain what this product is, how to use it, the pros, cons, and my recommendations. I'll also share some cheaper alternatives and briefly introduce the best training method for addressing the root cause of whatever aches or pains in your joints or muscles that you might be dealing with. Okay, so this is the R8 from Roll Recovery, which is a company based in Boulder, Colorado. It might look a little bit gimmicky, but this is a very unique and useful myofascial release tool or a self-massage tool for soft tissue and fascia. I'll do a demo of how to use it soon, but basically you hold it here and put your leg or your forearm through there and then roll over it with these discs and you get a really nice massage. As you can see, it has these springs which are what pulls these two blades, sets of blades together to give the tightness. You might be able to see a few marks on my one, but that's because it is a very, very durable product. I've had this since mid-2014 and it still works perfectly. The reason I purchased the Roll 8 was because I'd been using a foam roller for many years, but I'd sort of reached a plateau, and there are also some parts of the body, some muscles that are difficult to get a proper release on or get a proper massage on using a foam roller. One of those is the hamstring. So I couldn't really get a proper massage using the foam roller on my hamstring, but with this, you can really dig into it in a meaningful way. Okay, just before I get into the pros, cons, and recommendations, I'd just like to explain this cheaper alternative that I mentioned in the introduction. So, in 2016, I had some training sessions with a functional patterns practitioner. And they explained to me how instead of using a foam roller, you could just get a plastic PVC pipe like this, an offcut, and use it in the exact same way as a foam roller, and you'd get a much, much deeper release, much more meaningful release. So all you need to do to acquire one of these is just contact a plumber and ask if they have any offcuts. And you should get, 2 or 3 of different diameters so you can mix it up for different parts of the body. But I find this one, which is 5 or 6 centimeter diameter, pretty good all round. So yeah, whether or not you choose to purchase the Roll 8, you should definitely also get one of these. Okay, so this is how you use the Roll 8. When you're on the calf, you want to be careful to avoid rolling over the shin bone. You can sort of do front and back, and also on the sides. You can get quite close to the knee and the ankle. Another way you can use it is on the thigh. So you can do quad and hamstring, or your adductors and the IT band. A lot of people have tight IT bands. You can also use it like this on the forearm. Okay, so this is the pros and cons of the Roll 8. The pros. It's a huge improvement from a foam roller. You'll notice a massive difference. It's perfect for light to medium release. I word it that way because it doesn't get as deep as a PVC pipe or the Phoenix board, for example, or even a lacrosse ball positioned in the right way. It will definitely improve circulation and hydration. It's very durable and well made. I've had it for 5 years. Carried it all around Europe on a holiday, and 5 years later it's still working in great condition. It's convenient to use and portable, so you can use it on the couch, you could use it on an airplane, you could use it in lots of different places, and it's relatively small, so you can easily fit it in a backpack and take it with you to a sports training, for example. It's especially good for legs. It lasts a long time. You can control the pressure or the tightness with your hands, so if you use your arm strength, you can pull it out a little bit more. But generally, once you've gotten used to the product, you won't need to do that. It's great for someone who is new to myofascial release or has very sensitive pain, because if they can't do any of the other things I've mentioned, like a lacrosse ball, foam roller, PVC pipe, this is the perfect thing for them. And lastly, the best tool is the one you will actually use. Sort of already gone over this, but it's worth reiterating that you can have the best tool, but if someone's not motivated to use it, or they find it difficult to use, or it's inconvenient, then the best tool doesn't get used. Whereas this one, everyone can easily sit on a couch and use the Roll 8. Oh, and one more thing, another pro is you work both sides of the limb at the same time, so quads, hamstrings, IT band, adductors, which can be good. Cons, maybe the price. I put a question mark there. I think it's totally worth its price if the product is what you need. Another potential con is you can't work on some parts of the body. So for example, there are massage tools out there that I'll be explaining in future videos that work on literally every part of the body. And so this one's quite limited. It's lower leg, upper leg, forearms, maybe upper arms, bicep, tricep if you can get it on. Some people, if they're quite skinny, can get it onto their glutes, but I can't. Another point, like I've already mentioned, the depth of the release is not as good as something like a PVC pipe. And I've got written at the bottom, it's not a con, and it's no criticism of the product, but it's a criticism more of, or an issue with how some people may use a product like this, and that is that some people, they'll be doing some sort of very dysfunctional training in the gym or some unnatural exercises, contorting their body, lifting weights in sort of odd ways, and they'll be dealing with a small amount of pain, some niggly pain, a little bit of an ache. The problem then is when they get a product like this or any of the other myofascial release products that I'm explaining in these videos, they'll get the product and they'll use it to manage their pain, which will allow them to continue doing the dysfunctional or unnatural exercise or movement, which could end up with them having a bigger injury in the long run because they were able to continually sort of mitigate or manage the pain and allowed themselves to keep doing the bad exercise. So it's really important you don't just get a myofascial release tool and not look at anything else. You have to look at what sort of exercises you're doing, muscle imbalances, your biomechanics, how you run, how you throw, how you breathe. In exercise, all those things are related. Recommendations. So obviously, runners, cyclists, athletes, basketball players, soccer players, American football players, rugby, anybody who uses their legs basically in sports, office workers, people who work at desks. I think it's a great tool for them because, unlike the foam roller or the PVC pipe or the Phoenix board, with this you don't have to lie down on the ground to use it. Most people, working in an office in a nice suit, they're not gonna, get on the ground and start foam rolling. Although I do know of one person who did that in Australia. I've also got physiotherapy clinics. I think they should have these devices in their waiting rooms. The main two that I want to point out here, actually at the top, if someone's got, some maybe elderly people or someone who's had a traumatic injury and they're dealing with serious pain, tight muscles, and due to that, severity, they're unable to do foam rolling with a PVC pipe or use the Phoenix board or a lacrosse ball. They're unable to bend over and do some of those other forms of self-massage. In that scenario, the roll 8 is perfect because everyone can do it and you can control it very easily with your hands. And the other sort of type of target audience I've listed here is someone who's new to myofascial release and they're not really interested in using a PVC pipe for one reason or another. And lastly, I alluded to it in the introduction, and what you need to do to actually address the root cause is whatever form of self-massage, myofascial release, mobility work, muscle work, whatever you want to call it, whatever you choose to do, make sure you do some functional patterns exercises alongside that. Make sure you address your biomechanics, address your posture, the way you walk, the way you run, the way you sprint, the way you throw. These people, this company, Functional Patterns, they've achieved amazing results. Basically the best in the world at improving performance and helping people rehabilitate themselves. So check out their YouTube channel. They've got a whole lot of exercises for free on their channel. And Instagram, there's tons of content they put out for free on Instagram. It's like the best fitness content on Instagram. And they have a big Facebook page as well. So that was the end of the review, which covered how to use it, pros, cons, and recommendations. I'd appreciate any constructive criticism you have, as this is one of my first YouTube videos. And go and check out Roll 8's website, the Roll 8 Recovery website. And their website has a lot more photos that show you, better quality than my video of how to use the product. And the call to action is be responsible for your joints and muscles and fascia. Take responsibility and do some form of, maintenance work to look after your body. Thanks for watching.